During a medical emergency, a patient's husband, wife, parents, and other family members often close by, overseeing treatments, making medical decisions, and keeping vigil at the bedside. But what happens if the hospital won't allow you to stay with your partner or child? According to News Life site, that is the challenge for many same-sex couples face during healthcare emergencies when hospital security personnel, administration, and even doctors and nurses exclude them from the patient's room because they aren't real family members. A Bakersfield, California couple rushed their child to the emergency room with a 104-degree fever. The women were registered domestic partners, but the hospital only allowed the biological mother to stay with the child. Although hospitals typically allow both parents to stay with the child during treatment, in this case, the second parent was forced to stay in the waiting room. An Oregon man whose registered domestic partner was unconscious was told to leave the hospital room because it was time for the family members to make decisions about life care. He was forced to plead his case before hospital administrators before being allowed to stay with his partner who was dying. A woman from Washington collapsed while on vacation in Miami. Although her partner had documentation of her relationship and a power of attorney, she claims hospital officials told her she wasn't a family member under Florida law. The woman spent hours talking with hospital personnel in an effort to visit her partner's bedside. Although she eventually prevailed, her partner's condition had already deteriorated and the woman died. Because of the problem, the children from the patient had adopted and been raised with, her partner weren't able to see her before she died. Those are just a few stories in which someone wasn't able to be with their loved one because they weren't considered a family member. It doesn't seem like we treat everyone with compassion, no matter their race, gender, or sexual preference. Love is love. If there's a sacred bond between two people, why deny them the right to wed? It shouldn't matter if two people of the same sex or two people are from the opposite sex. You may argue that the Bible says otherwise. Yes, according to the Bible, it does say that marriage is a sacred bond between a man and a woman. But if two people are in love, why deny them the right to marry one another? Why is this? What is the reasoning behind denying two people that are in love the right to wed? There really isn't a reason to deny them the right to wed. According to Frederick Hertz, the divorce rate for people of the same sex is lower than the divorce rate of people that are the opposite sex. So it seems like those that are willing to marry of the same sex stay together longer than those of the opposite sex. So why do we still deny the same couples the right to marry? It doesn't make sense to keep denying these people the right to marry. You have to think of it from your own thoughts and perspective. What if you were the one who cared for someone very much that happened to be homosexual and was denied the right to see them, or denied the right to be with their loved one because they are homosexual? You would want to have the same rights as everyone else wants the same rights. Just if you were in their shoes, these people couldn't see their child because they weren't the biological parent, or couldn't see their loved one because they weren't considered a family member. Well, for some, their partner is all they have because their family is either gone or shun them because they aren't the same as them because they're homosexual. If you put yourself in their shoes, you'd understand that sometimes one person is all you have. You just have to put yourself in someone's shoes sometimes to understand what they might be feeling or what they might have trouble with. But even though so many people see it as being so wrong to marry the same sex, what's the difference between you loving and their love? They're people too. They aren't any different than the people you see every day, and they aren't any different than you. So why do we still deny them right to marry whoever they want? If they're in love, they should marry whoever. Doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. I myself have a family member that is homosexual, and I do not treat them any different than anyone else does in our family. We see them as the same person we've grown up with and have loved them the same since they were born. I mean, there are so many people around supporting their decision, and there are so many states that support the idea of same-sex marriage as well. Iowa is one of the most strict states when it comes to passing laws, and it supports same-sex marriage. Why not just make it legal in every state for same-sex marriage? Because their marriage is no different than straight couples' marriage. So why make it seem that way by not giving them the right to marry? In my opinion, anyone should have the right to marry whoever they want. If they are in love, let them be with the one they truly love and they are meant to be with.